Okay. Am I gonna get an ad?
No.
Okay, we are live. Do not give me an ad.
All the ads.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's
Yes.
so ridiculous.
Oh no, she's still watching the shooting the rocket launcher bit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes, sorry, I'm watching the... Yeah, sorry, I watched the Wieners.
No, that'll be
Welcome
after.
to the show,
It's like the
everybody.
first
Cinder's
30
watching
seconds.
Wieners.
Well, Cinder, gross.
Oh my god.
How could you?
And I'm watching a Jack Reacher ad, so... You know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I totally misheard you.
I was gonna say something bad.
Me too.
Reach around?
Yep.
Yeah.
And wieners, so
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It's going to be a grown-up show today, everybody.
Yep.
Welcome, I guess. Good luck.
Although, it was funny, I saw an ad, it was like... to do with the movie, and it's like, rule number 8, everything's a weapon. And he picks up a salt shaker, looks at it, and then walks up and just punches a guy in the face with it, and it like breaks his
Okay.
jaw. And it's like,
Hey man, salt shakers are dangerous.
what?
They're dangerous.
Okay. I mean, I guess
Don't
I'm just
question salt
imagining
shakers.
the salt shakers that we used to have when I was working in hospitality, and they were kind of like at the cafe.
It's
that I
kinda
worked at,
pointy.
rather. Yeah, they were kind of pointy. I'm like, could just
Yeah, it's
like
like-
shove
What?
that in an eye socket. and
It's
it
like the
would hurt 'cause
metal,
of
the
salt.
metal bit on top that screws in place.
Yeah.
Oh, the one that
And
looks
that's
kind of
like
like
the
a
pointy.
split tip.
Yeah, it's like a, yeah, it looks like
yeah.
Yeah, it's not like your little
Okay.
plastic ones, I'm assuming.
yeah.
I don't know, I don't have salt.
Oh, you got plenty of salt
Shut
when
up,
it comes to certain things.
you jerk. We don't talk about
I have things ready for night.
Guess what?
But
You're mad and I'm not.
I'm pretty sure you didn't even have to say that out loud. It's just kind of a given.
You think I'm not mad? Oh my god.
Oh,
oh, I thought you meant like grumpy.
No,
Oh,
like, no, just a little bit silly.
no. Pepe gets to go on another adventure tomorrow.
Oh?
We got a new manager at work, and she saw my cushion, and she's like, "You make other things?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I make plushies and stuff, and like stuff that I can get my hands on. Just I make it." And she
It's
goes,
like-
"You have to bring it in." I'm like, "Okay." And then Pepe gets to get it. And he
Aw.
gets to.
It's like
Yeah.
she's like, yeah, I make other, some stuff, and then I just pop out of nowhere and just throw a bunch of business cards at her and disappear.
You do the what's the name? You just make it rain business cards.
Yeah, I do that. You hate it.
I can just imagine you standing on one of the desk clerk and just making it rain business cards all over everything. I don't have that many.
Do not make that your daily art.
Or make it your daily art.
I'll make it my daily art.
Okay.
Twitch is being silly for me right now.
How so?
It's not showing things properly. That's a bit better though. It was spinning, things were spinning and stuff, and that's all good.
Mine
better now.
still is.
Okay.
I saw something somewhere before, someone was saying Twitch was having some trouble, so as you know, worst case scenario, we don't get a YouTube video this week. If it does end up failing for any reason, we still get the audio, which is, the most.
That
Important
reminds
bit.
me. November 8th. Which episode is? Have anything planned?
Who?
That's. We'll talk about it afterwards. After the
Okay.
off the air. Note. Okay. Can I get some audio from you, please?
Audio.
Perfect.
Okay.
But
I like
I at least
big
waited
butts
for you
and
to
I
stop so I
cannot
didn't interrupt you.
I can
Sorry.
sniff that straight out of the, let's see.
Shut. You better not. You
What,
better not.
what, Cinder singing?
No.
Oh, I thought me.
Oh.
Although it makes adorable because when I drew the Pokemon after Cinder mummed me, it wasn't Ordino. So there's that. So yeah. Can we just get you to chant Ordino now? And then like,
Wait a sec.
cut that out?
Options. Let's see if I do that.
He's evil tonight.
Oh, wait, here we go. Oh, wait, no, that means you... But the chat room heard that.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Dear.
I was telling Clara about that before because at the end of Battle Tagged, I said something that I can't say on here because it had naughty words in it, and
You can say before we go live.
no, it's okay. But
Okay.
I said something silly, and he's like, "Yeah, you have to keep that in the show at the very end. That has to stay in the show." And I promised that I would, and then I told him about that and how you snipped that out.
There we go.
That's your message tone, isn't it, Sirius? That's why you wanted me to get it for you.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm glad to be of service.
Thank you.
Now we can snip that for an AI that's based on Cinder.
Who needs Siri when you've got me?
Yeah, I think I'd rather you talk to me than Siri.
I
But
don't
I
think
have
that that's true. And it'd be like, Siri, why is the sky blue? And I'd be like, find out yourself, you lazy sod. Like, I don't know.
Oh god, it'd be worse if you were a GPS.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Like, I need to go to this address. I don't know, figure it out yourself. But
It's
here's
like,
a map.
Look at a freaking map. Oh my god. Yeah, I had that once where, like, because I'm stupid. Like, I'm not stupid. I'm just tired, and my words don't word properly. And there was one night where I was trying to give directions somewhere, and instead of saying turn left at the roundabout, I said turn left at the alphabet, and it was just like, what has that got to do with anything? Anyway, these are the things that I do. when I say-
Sirius gets her left and rights mixed up when we're driving in the car sometimes as well.
At least I point to the right direction.
Yeah. You
Yes,
call it some
she
completely
points to the
random
left
word.
and says right. It's only
Yeah.
when like you start getting flustered because we're late or something, and you're
Yeah.
like, you've got to turn left here, and she's pointing like towards me. I'm like, left?
You know what?
She's
Next
like-
time, next
The left.
Yeah,
gonna
that way.
be,
I'm pointing that way, left. It's like, well, no, that's right. You're
next time I'm
pointing
just
at
gonna be a turd and just point and be like that way, just
Aw.
that way.
me. Well, that's the thing. The way I described it, American
Left
people
is
would be
up.
thinking, wait, that's correct because she's pointing towards the driver.
Yeah,
Saying
no,
left.
it's not
But
right.
no,
Don't
in
do
Australia,
that. It's
she's
not
pointing towards
safe.
the driver who's on the right-hand side. Alright, shall we go?
We should start this
recording?
show.
Okay. Can I get a countdown?
Ah, wait. Teapot,
Get in your teapot, honey.
Go, go, go. When you're ready.
Okay, in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Reins of Azeroth, episode 37. I am your host, Spaz Wesson, and I'm joined tonight by Cinder. Cinder, how are you tonight?
Hyperactive. I'm really tired, and I've gotten to that point where I'm really, really silly, and I'm going to crash and burn at some point in time. So if I stop responding, it's because I'm snoring on my keyboard.
Fair enough.
As in, hello.
Hopefully you fall asleep on the push to talk key, and I can have
Yeah.
kind of a like half asleep mumbly conversation with you. And yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
So,
So we're
how's
doing
your
like
week been?
achievements. My week.
Yes.
Oh, I've been reading a lot. That's why I'm really tired and hyperactive, and it's lovely. But we're three mythics down now, which is nice, and halfway through a fourth.
Oh, that's
so,
excellent.
Yeah, it's going well. So yeah, no new mounts this week. toys, I I did withered training again, and I spent 2,000 ancient mana, and I got all those little withered fellas, and so I ran around and got some extra bits and pieces from all the chests, and I got the ancient mana basin toy, which was nice, and I also got the dark shard fragment from, I want to say, High Mountain Revered Reputation. I think that's where I got that from, because that only just happened for me recently. And like for achievements, I got the Mythic Ursoc achievement. I got Use the Forces, which we'll talk about in a minute. I got What Was Briefly Yours Is Now Mine and Surveying the Land from the archaeology things. And I finally got Broken Isles Diplomat, so that was revered with everybody. So it was good. But there's more that I'd like to be doing.
Your last faction was High Mountain?
Yeah.
My High Mountain was my first.
Yeah, I still haven't done the High Mountain questing yet. I haven't had time to yet.
It's a good zone. Take your time through it. Don't rush.
That's why I'm kind of like, okay, even though I haven't done it, and I want to, because won the achievement for the path, like working towards the Pathfinder, I need to do that for. I think you need to get all the pillars for that from memory, don't you? And then, yes. so that's the only one that I've got left to get for that. And also just because I'm a completionist, and I'd like Neltharion's Lair Dungeon to make sense to me, because it doesn't. I don't know why we're doing it. I don't really I know some of the basics behind it, and I'm like, no, I really want to get in there, and I want to do the story and know who all of these characters really are, and do it right.
Well, the last boss is the bad guy of the zone.
I've picked up on that bit. That's about as far as I've gotten. I've come across that guy, and I'm like, you're a tool. Okay.
Yeah, he basically steals the hammer and tells all the people in High Mountain to screw off.
Yeah, he was in the comic, yeah?
Yes, he was. Yes. Yep. Yeah, he was the bad guy. There's the best part about High Mountain is there are 2 or 3 different twists as you go through the story, which are really cool.
Oh, cool. Nice.
So
how was your week?
Definitely. My week was alright. Mounts, nothing new, because there's not much to go for. I'm still trying to slowly get Sightless Eyes, but I don't have anything to spend them on, so I don't really know.
Have you got all your profession recipes and stuff that you can get from down there?
That was the first 7,000 that I spent.
Well, I think that from that point, then you start buying things like the things that let the pets out, so that you just help other people then. Like if you've got nothing else to buy down there. Oh yeah,
true, because I can let the turtles out for people to collect, and I can let
and the rat mount for everybody to run around. Oh, that's true.
On. And I can get the thing that summons the bats and the thing that summons the NPCs and stuff.
There are things.
Yeah, because I can you can perpetually summon the enemies as you go. So toys. I got the Wondrous Wisdom Ball. Oh wait, no, that's a pet. That's a pet. That's creepy.
I love when it first shows up, Khadgar's like, I'm trying something new. It's like, I've got a new hairstyle. What do you think? I'm like, dude, your head's not on your body.
I didn't get that quest like that.
Oh, okay.
I got it as a drop in the world. I got this humming crystal, and I went to Khadgar, and he's like, oh, that's cool. Okay, can you just do me a quick favor while I work on this? There's a couple of people around Dalaran who are acting really shady. Can you go beat them up for me?
As you do.
Yeah. I think her name is Leah Skymirror. She's sitting over by where Zurios is. She's a Pandaren monk who's just kind of sitting there meditating. And I spotted her previously, and I'm like, I wonder why she's there.
Yes, I've seen her. She's one of the statue, yeah?
Yeah, she's one of the NPCs you have to beat up, and I don't know why, because she's she's related to, I think it's Li-AI, and her sister is the other way around, and she's one of the rares from Pandaria, who is, she's one of the few rares that's actually yellow when you go speak to her. She's meditating in a little pagoda.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think there's also a link between her and the Sky Mirror item that you get for the the pet battle stuff that lets you look like a pet, I think. Yeah, but I'm not 100% sure. I didn't look that connection up, but that's how I got it. I that quest and got the toy. Oh, I thought it was a toy, but it was a pet, and I'm like, okay, so that's fun. Um, I am revered with all the factions, and so in doing my
Congrats.
emissary quests, I've looked at all of the vendors, and so I got the homemade party mask, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I got Sizexon's rod, which changes all the horrible looking dead people into kind of normal looking elves. And
Okay.
Death's Door Charm, which I don't remember what it does. I also bought the Sunborn Valkyrie, which looks so awesome. The pet.
Yeah, I love that.
And
I
got
tweeted
the
to
garden, not garden,
Sorry.
Guardian Owl.
Yeah.
From the Wardens. That one looks so nice too.
I tweeted to Jeremy Feasel saying we have an unborn Valkyr and a sunborn Valkyr. Can we have a stormborn Valkyr? So that we've got like a whole family of these little Valkyr pets. And she can have like lightning and stuff crackling between her wings and whatnot. I think it'd be really cool.
Well, the Stormborn are races that were created by the Titans, so that would be lore.
And there's I've got the little Stormborn Whelpling. There's a rare in Stormheim that drops it, which is cute. Oh my god, it's so cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want a Valkyrie.
Achievement wise, I got Broken Isle Diplomat. I finally found him. I got the Tangerine Traveler.
Congrats! I haven't found him yet.
He's a pain in the butt where I found him. In the inn.
Oh, okay.
He's sitting on a barrel.
I haven't looked yet.
There's if you go to the achievement page on Wowhead, there's a list of places he can spawn. He's sitting on a barrel, but there's an NPC that's right next to him, who's like aura to click on, actually envelops him.
Yeah.
So I had to walk right up to the NPC, zoom all the way in so I'm on first person, and then just kind of slowly drag my mouse over the whole screen until I managed to
find
turn it from click on NPC to the gears to interact with him.
Oh, that's a pain.
Yeah, that was annoying, but I got it, so I'm happy.
Congrats.
The other two that I got, I did Mythic Halls of Valor just before the show.
Congrats.
And I got we got Surge Protector.
Well done.
So we'll talk about that one as well in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll move into the news, which there's only one piece of news. For all those who were extremely confused, the one-handed pole arm from Archaeology, the Spear of Rethu that was the reward last week, is now two-handed, not one-handed.
Okay. It's weird though. Like it's a 600 eye level. Is it an heirloom or?
It's a bind on account piece.
Yeah, but it's so low. Like I don't know. I'm like, oh, that's cool, and I like how it looks. But I'm like, what?
Yeah, there's nothing really. I don't know if there's a minimum level requirement for it.
I don't
but
know.
It's a bind on account piece. The funny thing is, did you do the story for it? The missions, like the quest? I should say?
Yes. That's how I got my the rare archaeology thing achievement this week. Yeah.
So when you do the quest, you go to Thunder Totem, and you speak to one of the NPCs there who's an archaeologist, and it's a torrent. So you're like, okay, she's an archaeologist from around here, and she says, no, I've come from Azeroth here because I want to learn about Hulm and the lore. And so you take her apprentice with you, and you do a bunch of dig sites, and then you go back to her, and she's like, oh yeah, we found this relic, which is this Spear of Hulm, which is really... Oh wait, no. It's just a spear of some other Tauren dude. Here, you have it, I don't care. That's it. Like, that's the quest line. Like, you hand the quest in, and she's like, oh yeah, it's the awesome spear that... No, never mind, I don't want it. It's not the right one. So
and I think that like I felt like mine bugged out when having that helper along. I felt like it just skipped a few, and all of a sudden he's like, "Cool, I'm done now. Thanks for that." And the quest was done. I'm like, "Wait, I was sure that I had 20 more digs that I needed to do with you." It was really odd.
It's not dig sites. It's the number of times that you use the ability.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So if
Not
I
the
was
number of
not even the number of
artifacts you
things that I dig up.
find.
Oh,
No,
okay. That
you can
explains it
stand
then.
in the one place and knock them out if you wanted to. But
Right. Okay, that
I
makes
actually need to
sense.
do more archaeology. So I think does
Yeah.
the quest reset as of
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. I think
Okay, cool.
once
That'll make me go
tomorrow
do
there'll
more
be a new one.
archaeology.
Yeah.
Okay, because I need more pristine artifacts. I'm like so close.
Yeah. I have none.
Well,
But I
you're
haven't been
raiding.
doing too many. Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm doing archaeology.
I'll tell you what though, if tomorrow is the mount, I'm dropping everything.
I
I'm
will let you
getting
know
that
as soon
mount.
as I've done the quest.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So we'll move into our main topic tonight. Dungeon and raid achievements. Now, all the dungeons
Half a raid achievement.
are available. Not all the raids are available currently.
Yeah.
The Nighthold achievements, some of them are quite straightforward, but some of them are a bit
they
odd
might be, but
without
it's like
knowing
we
the
don't.
fights.
Yeah, so I think like we'll come back to it once the night hold's actually out, because like some of the things
Yes.
make sense, and then I'm like, yeah, but maybe it doesn't. Like, because you read some of these and you'd be like, okay, cool, yeah, that makes sense, and then you're like, when you get there, that particular NPC thing might not be there, and it's one of those weird go find this things.
Yeah.
I'm just talking a lot. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So the first up is the dungeon achievement for Glory of the Legion Hero. And that is obviously for the Reins of the Lay Feather Hippogriff.
So
which looks
pretty.
awesome. And the only thing is these have to be done on Mythic. They can be done on Mythic Plus, but you can't do them on normal Heroic, which is kind of annoying, but Mythic is the new Heroic, so...
I think it makes sense. Oh, look, there's the mount. Sorry, obviously
Yes.
my Twitch thing caught up to what you've been showing. A team in our guild got server first for this. They're like just randomly wake up the next morning. They're like, we got these first on the server, and I'm like, you guys suck. Why didn't you bring me? I love this mount so much, and it's a really pretty mount as well. Like they run around on it all the time, and it is very nice. It looks good.
Yes, I can't wait to get my team together and do all of these.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, up first we have the Eye of Ishara, which has 3 dungeon achievements to it. The first is off the first boss, Warlord Pajesh. The achievement is, but you say he's just a friend, which is to defeat Warlord Pajesh without allowing any hate coil shellbreakers to die. So basically, you have to go against the grain on this one. The whole point of this, like the mechanic in this fight, is to make him throw his spear at the NPCs, at the enemies, to kill them, so that they don't kill your people in the party. So you need to kill him as quickly as possible so that you don't take too much damage from those spears.
There's multiple ads that come up, and these ones are only one type of those that do come up. So you could theoretically keep another one up as well, but it's just you can heal through it if you just do it on a Mythic 0 and you've got a strong healer. You can do it, because I've been in groups where we've just messed this up completely. We would take the spear in the chest and press on.
Because it seems like, because that's the thing, when you do this on Heroic, it's, the ads spawn and the ads are dead.
Yeah.
And now he goes to throw the spear. I guess the tank takes it, and the healer just kind of heals through it. But on Mythic, it's like, okay, we can't just insta-kill the ads, and you have to make him throw the spear at them, because the tank will take a serious amount of damage from it. But, yeah. So it's just one of those... It's one of those achievements that you have to do the opposite of what you're supposed to, instead of doing exactly what you're supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah. The other note that Wowhead had... Oh, sorry, we should say that all of this obviously comes from Wowhead, because, bless Wowhead. This is the Glory of the Legion Hero guide that they have up. We'll put the link in the show notes for you. It's actually a really great guide, because it's got videos of each of the achievements as well, so that can be really helpful if you're a bit stuck on some of them. With this one, with Warlord Pajesh, it just says make sure you interrupt the Hate Coil Shellbreaker's Bellowing Roar ability, because that could get quite painful. But if you zerg everything down quickly, hopefully there's not too many to interrupt.
Yes. So the next one is on the boss Lady Hate Coil, and the achievement is called Stay Salty. which is defeat her Lady Hate Coil after destroying 11 or more salty brine globules with a single Curse of the Witch. Now, this one is you need to collect all the sea salt globules that spawn, and obviously not kill them. When you have 11 of them in total, you line up with a person who has Curse of the Witch and dispel them so that it hits and kills all 11. What is Curse of the Witch? Just like when you dispel it, it's an AoE?
No, so the Curse of the Witch is the debuff where you can either dispel it or you can let it drop off naturally, but whenever it expires or whenever it leaves you, it will do this frontal burst of damage. And if there's players that are standing in the way, it'll knock them back and knock them out of the way, and you can like spread out the whole group, and it's a bit of a pain in the bottom. So it's something like when you've got it on you and you can see it's about to get go off you, the mechanic in the fight is that you turn around, face the opposite direction, and let that blast come out of you away from the group. And so with this particular one, she does an ability called Beacon Storm, which is where there's lightning and stuff and these globules come up, and you need to tank them until she's done that 3 times. And during all of that, and the hardest part isn't waiting for 11 of these things to come up. The hardest part is actually it's going to be people accidentally letting Curse of the Witch go off and it killing those globules. So it really does take people's responsibility, like self-responsibility, to see that you've got it on you and face away from the raid as it's going off or ask for a dispel.
So a monk in tank spec would help throw the statue off to the side and let it just pull them.
Yes, possibly, but the range on that is quite big. It's quite a big range on that ability, so you still need to be careful. But yeah, the Ox statue would be quite helpful for getting through that, I think. So, yeah. So the hardest part will be making sure that a Curse of the Witch doesn't kill them early.
Yeah.
If they do, just wipe and start again.
Yeah, and so the final achievement is on Wrath of Ashara, final boss, which is ready for rating 5. The ready for rating achievements have always been really fun, I think.
Oh, some of them. There was one, the one in Mr. Pandaria that was on the Isle of Thunder, where you had to run around and kill a certain number of cockroaches in a really short period of time. That one was hard. I don't think I ever got that one. I didn't end up being able to do it because the group I was in stuffed it up.
Yeah, my favorite one was, I think, 4, which was in Skyreach, which was to dodge all the wind on the first boss.
Yeah.
The number of times I got the buff just because I was dodging everything. And you just, as soon as you stop walking, you just start dancing.
Yeah, I like that.
And it's like, cute. I don't want to be this cocky, but I didn't take a single point of damage I shouldn't have, so might as well. Might as well keep dancing.
Awesome.
Yes, so with this one, it's the same vein. It's to defeat the Wrath of Ashara without being struck by either magic or frost resonance. So you just have to dodge everything.
Yeah, this was one. Some of the comments were saying that in some cases it might be easier if you allocate people to specifically aim for this achievement in each run, so that, because if you're trying really, really hard to dodge everything, your DPS is going to be a bit rubbish anyway. So if you say, okay, this like Spaz, you're going to do it this time, don't worry about DPSing. Everybody else will DPS the boss, and if they dodge stuff, great, good on them. But this is your turn to try and get this achievement, and rotate it that way, because for tanks, that's actually going to be really hard. And so yeah, it could be one that you take in turns, but it's still totally doable.
Yeah. So the next 3, in fact, are from Vault of the Wardens, which is one of my favorite dungeons in this expansion.
It's good. I'm just not good at it.
I like the mechanics. I like the light and carrying that around as you go through the second half. Not a big fan of the first half, but I do enjoy the second half and the final fight against Cordana using the light.
Fair enough.
It's kind of like using the flamethrowers to get rid of the green stuff back.
And Brackenspore?
Brackenspore, that was the one. Never dropped that bow for me.
Oh, Jack.
Yeah. So the first one is on Ash Golem, which achievement is I Ain't Even Cold, which is to defeat Ash Golem while all party members are fired up. Now, during the encounter, you need to stand in the lava to get 5 stacks. And you need to have 5 stacks when the boss dies. So
everyone in the group needs to have 5 stacks.
yes, everyone needs to. So it's not a personal achievement, it's a group one, which means you have to coordinate it. It's not like some of them where it's just like, oh yeah, if I make sure that I do this and this, I get the achievement, or if one person does it correctly, then everyone gets the achievement. So
yeah, this one was actually in the group that I was running Mythics with. We did try and do this one, and it was quite tricky trying to get the stacks because they drop off quite quickly as well. So trying to time killing the boss while having the stacks on you, and then like running out of lava and not being able to get any more stacks, it can be a little bit fiddly. So yeah, it does definitely take some coordination.
Yeah. Now, the next one is from Cordana Fellsong, and it's Who's Afraid of the Dark? And it's to defeat Cordana after successfully navigating Creeping Doom without holding Elun's light. She is in the air. This is gonna suck.
Evil.
So, Creeping Doom is the walls of ghosts that charge in from the same 2 directions over and over again. And obviously, you need the light to find the gap.
Have you done this one on Mythic?
I believe so.
The walls come from all 4 sides in Mythic.
Okay.
It's stupid. It's so stupid.
Fair enough. On Heroic, I think it's just on Heroic. They come from
on Heroic it's great.
The same 2, so it's just like, even then it's difficult because you can never tell.
It is, yeah. Although, so I was in a Mythic 5 run of this on the weekend that didn't go as well as we'd hoped, but it was a good learning experience. Anyway, the group that we were in wasn't getting this down because obviously Mythic 5's a lot harder. The tank was telling us how you can predict where the gap is going to be. So she goes up in the air in her bubble, and she will cast an ability. So you'll see this stuff come out of her, and you will actually see in that there's a gap where there won't be a thing. So it actually gives you an indication of where the gap is going to be before those ghosts come up. So that can be a way, because the suggestion here is to have a demon hunter or somebody because demon hunters can see the walls with their spectral sight, and so you follow them around. But if you don't have a demon hunter to do that with, the best way is to watch where she's targeting and look for the gap in her spell, and that'll help you get through it.
Okay. I never bothered looking up during that phase.
I hadn't either. And when he said that, I'm like, actually, that's really helpful because I struggle with that. I'm not good with those walls at all, and that really helped a lot. So it could be, good tip for anyone who might be struggling. Watch where she casts.
Yes, I'll definitely look at that next time I go in there. So the final one is not related to a boss, but you do it after killing Cordana, and the achievement is called A Spectre Illuminated, and you need to illuminate and free the Spectre of Vengeance. So we've taken this directly from the guide in Wowhead because it's the easiest thing to do. You need to obviously defeat Cordana and grab Elun's light that you used during the fight, and the other one that's just behind the elevator in the Tomb of the Penitent. You go back to the Vault of the Wardens. You go through the tunnel that connects the Vault of Ice with Ash Golem and the Vault of Mirror with Glazer, who I hate that fight.
I hate it because he won't give me the trinket, you jerk.
Yeah. Here you will find a ghost. You need to follow it, and eventually you'll fight the Spectre of Vengeance that you need to free. It will spawn ghosts of the previous bosses, and so it does take a little bit of coordination. Apparently demon hunters cause the spirits to disappear. There's a little bug.
There's some bugs going on. And this one was a bit weird. The comments seem to suggest different things to kill, but all of them say have the lights, go to that tunnel, like that corridor between those two bosses, and there's ghosts and stuff in there, and just start killing things when they start hitting you, because that's what you're supposed to do, and you'll get it eventually.
Yeah. So the shortcut tunnel, basically.
Yes, that everyone takes.
Yeah. Now, do you want to take the next ones?
Yeah, so the next 3 are in Blackrook Hold. The first one is on the fight Amalgam of Souls. The achievement is called Blackrook Moan, and for this you need to defeat Amalgam of Souls after killing a frustrated soul. So in this fight, there's a phase called Call Souls, and that's where the ads start coming in from the sides and go into the Amalgam, and you need to kill them before they get there, otherwise, it does all this damage and bad things happen. What you need to do is actually stop one of those ads from getting to the Amalgam, but don't kill it. So you need to use things like roots and stuns and things like that. Eventually, because it can't get anywhere, it's going to turn into a frustrated soul. Once the frustrated soul has, changed its name and all that, then you can kill it, and then you can kill the boss. So it's pretty straightforward. Just stop one of those ads from getting in there. Don't kill it before it changes, because then you'll be really sad. Yeah. The next one is not attached to a boss, it's just general, and if you've been in the dungeon, you've probably come across a couple of these. So the achievement is called You Used to Scroll Me in Your Felt Home, and for this you need to find all entries of Ilisana Ravencrest's diary in Blackrook Hold. And so there's pages that are scattered around throughout the dungeon. We're not going to list them all here because it's a visual thing. If you go have a look at the guide on Wowhead, there's actually there's specific locations listed in there.
Yes.
So recommend having a look
this
at that.
one can be done on.
Yeah, there's a couple of these that seem to be able to be done in heroic and whatnot. Only a handful, and this seems to be.
It seems like these items spawn in the dungeon.
Yeah, I don't know if you actually get credit for them in. Like, I haven't seen anybody say, "Yes, I did this only in heroic dungeons."
I haven't actually noticed any. I haven't noticed any of them actually.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I haven't found any of them, and all that's going through my head now is the song "Hotline Bling."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
because of the name.
That.
And this is the second reference to that song, because there's also Leyline Bling.
Yeah.
The achievement.
Like, what is with
and it's like,
Drake?
I guess someone likes his music.
Yeah.
Or specifically the guy who makes achievements. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last achievement in Blackrook Hold is with Ilisana Ravencrest, and the achievement is called Ads, more like Bads. And you need to defeat her without killing any of her allies, and this is straightforward, just don't kill the ads. Which, if you're in a naughty group that's not doing mechanics properly, you'll get this pretty easily. So
yeah, so be in a, air quotes here, bad group.
Yeah.
That's just, a tunnel vision group.
Yeah.
Just tunnel through the boss.
Yeah, in this case, it's because what you can actually do as well is when she flies up in the air and the allies come out, you can actually still hit her if you go right to the very edge of the balcony. She's still within range, and you can kill her from there. So, what you might like to do is have somebody stun, kite, all of those things with the ads. Just make sure that they don't die. Just single target on the boss and get her down, and you'll have the achievement.
And then don't run down to get off her and accidentally fall off the broken bit. And then have to run all the way back around.
Oh.
I did that once. Oops. I clicked on her and apparently misclicked her and clicked to move down in the passageway, and I jumped off and I'm like, what the? Oh, and now I have to walk all the way around. But at least my aspect of the cheetah works.
Yeah, that's true. The next 2 are in Darkheart Thicket. The first one is with Draceron, which is the dragon with the eggs all around the room. I love this fight. The achievement is called Excellent. And for this, you need to defeat Draceron after slaying the Hate Spawn Abomination. So, as I was saying before, there are eggs all around the room. At the very, very back of the room, there's a big purple egg that has the Hate Spawn Abomination in it. You need to pull the boss first, and then go get the egg and hatch the hate spawn in there and kill the abomination during the boss fight. If you try and sneak around and crack that egg and kill him without aggroing the boss, which I don't even know if you could, but if you somehow manage to do that, you won't get a credit for the achievement. So make sure that you do that all during the fight. That one's pretty straightforward. The last one is with the Shade of Xavius. It's called Burning Down the House. You need to defeat the Shade of Xavius while he has 10 stacks of apocalyptic empowerment. For this one, in the fight itself, there's a phase where he's got like all those pink swirly things going on the ground, and you have to not stand in them because, you know, standing in bad things is bad. If you drag Xavius through those pink swirly things and he gets hit by them, he'll get a stack of apocalyptic apocalyptic empowerment. So you need to drag him through 10 of those to and then kill him to get the achievement. This is similar to the Ash Golem one, where those stacks are actually going to drop off quickly, and these ones drop off quite quickly, and they take a little bit to get because he can be a little bit slow to run around. So healer, you'll need to focus on your tank because they'll get wailed on a fair bit for this, because the 10 stacks can get quite painful. So you'll want to get the boss down a little bit, like, you know, about to 30% or something like that. Stop hitting him, get the 10 stacks, and then just, you know, pop all your cooldowns and hero and stuff and burn him down for the last little bit of him.
Yes.
The 10 stacks drop
do
off.
those the pink swirls on the ground, do they stay there or do they disappear
So
over time?
It's kind of like there'll be a pink swirly thing where something's going to land. So it's kind of like, you know, how the meteor things where it's like, here's an indicator of where this thing's going to land. The thing will land and then it'll go away. From memory, that particular phase is percentage based. So that's why you kind of need to stop hitting him to keep that phase from going, I think. We did manage to get this one. It was just the stacks dropped off really quickly. So you need to make sure that you save all of your cooldowns for a, you know, really quick burn phase.
Yep. Fair enough.
Neltharion's Lair, go for it.
So Neltharion's Lair only has 2. The first one is currently doable in the lower difficulty dungeons. Possibly. It's not.
Yeah,
obviously, this isn't all 100% confirmed, so we don't actually know.
If I was anybody here listening, don't rely on it being accurate on lower dungeons. Just in case. I'd hate for you to do all this work and then not get it.
Yes. So the first one, this one is got to catch 'em all, which is use the catch 'em tablet to acquire imprints of all the named snails within Neltharion's lair. Have you spotted any of these snails?
Oh yeah, there's heaps. Yeah. So one of the most obvious ones is
Are they tiny pet snails, or are they?
No, they're like little critter
snails?
Yeah, look, they're critter-sized snails, so they're little ones.
Okay.
There's a mob that you tend to avoid where there's like 3 or 4 of the dudes around this rock pillar thing in the middle, and there's like a racetrack around. There's like 3 lines kind of in the dirt around this rock pillar thing, and on those is like 3 snails, and they're 3 of the snails that you need to get.
Okay.
You'll know next time you run through it. It's a mob that you avoid by hugging the left wall. I've never seen anybody engage it unless they were being really, really silly and auto running into it by accident. Everyone runs.
Oh, that's
to the
right.
left
There's
of
a snail track.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Of course.
That's what they look like. Yeah.
Now that I think of it, it's like there's a snail track in that dungeon.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I tried to get the achievement for helping the really slow snail win. In the that's in High Mountain, so I shouldn't say anything else.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a group of people that do snail races, and the one that needs to win is extremely slow. And you need to stand. You literally need a group of 4 people, each one to stand in front of the other snails, because they try and avoid you by going around you. And that's how you slow them down. So you just constantly make them swerve. But it's really difficult to do it by yourself. It took me. I tried it like twice, and I was like, no.
Somebody help me.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the snails will look like. Go to our head for the map and descriptions of where they are, because again, it's a visual thing.
Yes, and you need to obviously buy the Ketchum tablet from the merchant, who can be found in the narrow pathway at the start of the instance. So it's not sure how much it is, but I'm sure it's cheap. So this one should be a quick one.
I haven't done this yet, but I believe it's pretty cheap.
Yes. So the next achievement is off Neuraxis, and it's can't eat just one, which is to defeat Neuraxis after she gains 6 stacks of Ravenous. So the easiest way to do this one is either let the tank get hit by Spiked Tongue, or let the ads reach the boss so he can eat them.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's so painful. It gets really painful for the healer.
yes.
So.
The more stacks, the more painful.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe try to keep the stacks to as low as possible until the last little bit, and then let her eat like 5 or 6 at a time, and then just kill it off quickly. Seems like the best way for most of these achievements, where the boss gets stronger and stronger. You just leave it till as low as possible.
I think with this one, some of the things are percentage based though, so you may not want to get too low. I think this is one that you just got to suck it up and go, this one's gonna hurt. Personals, don't stand in crap. Be prepared for hours.
Fair enough. So the next one is the Halls of Valor, and there's 3 achievements. The first one is can be done anywhere, like it's not boss required, and it's Stag Party, which is to defeat a Storm Drake after allowing it to gain 10 stacks of Killing Blow. Now, there are exactly 10 stags in the field leading to Fenrir. Easiest way is to kill everything else except the stags. Kill Fenrir, then the tank should kind of plan a path, picking up all the stags, and let the Storm Drake...
Don't pick them up.
No, figure out where they are, and find the best path, and then let the Storm Drake go through and take them down.
This is definitely one to do what you were saying before about get the Storm Drake down to a lower percentage, because again, this one, every stag that it eats hurts more and more. And when we did this, we had a bit of trouble where if the rest of the group wasn't close by the tank, the Drake would start aggroing on other people. So if you know what path it is, like if you we marked a few of them and had markers, and so the tank would go, okay, we're going over to Triangle, and so all of us DPS and healers would run towards Triangle, and then he would be the next one to come through with the Drake, so that he could always have aggro on it, because it does start hurting after a fair bit. So yeah, this one is actually trickier than it sounds.
Could you possibly pull them with like the stags, like aggro with abilities that don't cause damage?
I'm not 100% sure.
Like there's Provoke and obviously the Ox statue, but that wouldn't.
With this we didn't because the stags are all yellow, so you don't need to worry about the stags hitting you. And we didn't touch, like we were explicitly told, do not touch any of the stags. So I don't know if them being pre-aggroed will cause some issues with the Drake eating them.
Okay.
So we just, basically when it got to that point where we were going to start running, we were just told, get your hands off your keyboard and just run. Like the only thing that you're going to be doing is running until he's eaten all 10 stags. So... yeah,
fair enough.
You don't touch anything else. Just better to be safe than sorry. Plan your path as you'd said, and you'll be okay. And then burninate him at the end. Just go kapow.
Fair enough. So the next achievement is one that doesn't need a boss. It's I got what you mead, which is to splash 4 Reichel Kings with a mug of mead in the Halls of Valor. So you need to clear the dining hall first of all. Allocate 4 members to grab a mug each and assign each of them to one of the 4 kings. Now, you need to splash them at the same time, or roughly within quick succession.
Nope, at the same time. We failed this, and it was like half a second out.
Okay, so
we were not happy. Yeah.
Yes. So you need to do a countdown, and everyone throw their mugs. Now, obviously, this is while those 4 kings are green.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter that you haven't fought them. They're still there. They still count. So you need to have the 4 people stand there, aim and throw kind of thing.
The mugs have a time limit on them as well, which is very tight. So it's recommended that everybody, because you've cleared the dining hall, so each of the 4 people goes to the mug that they're allocated at, stand in front of that, and do a countdown, and then click on the mugs all at the same time, leg it up the Rainbow Road, and then do another countdown to do the splash. And yeah, it really has to be at exactly the same time, because we were only like half a second out and we didn't get it.
Yeah, now obviously this goes without saying, that does mean you have to beat the other 2 bosses in this dungeon first.
Yeah.
3 bosses. And the final one is on Odin, the last boss, and it's Surge Protector, which is to defeat Odin without any of his Stormforge obliterators successfully casting Surge. Now, the Surge Protector, the ability is cast by the Stormforge obliterators, which are the adds that spawn during the encounter. If you can interrupt them when they spawn and then kill them as quickly as possible before they can actually cast the ability, you'll get this achievement. For me, when I did this earlier, he spawned 1 ad, we interrupted it, we blew it up, and we finished him off. And that was done.
This one's a great one. If you do it properly, you get the achievement. I like that.
Yes. Yeah, it was fairly easy to do. So.
Were you trying for it, or you guys just did everything right and got it anyway?
I was just in a random mythic pub.
Nice. That's awesome. Done.
Yeah. So that was pretty good. Would you like to take more of Souls?
More of Souls. Okay, the first one is with Miron, the Fallen King. The achievement is called Instant Karma, and for this you need to defeat Miron after defiantly striking down 6 risen warriors. Now, this one is a little bit tricky. So, in the trash pack before Miron is an ad called a Sea-Cursed Soulkeeper, and he's the one that's got like this massive frontal cleave ability that's really, really painful if you stand in it, so don't stand in it. You need to keep him alive. So you need to kill all other trash around him and keep that one dude alive. You then need to bring him into the fight with Miron. In the Miron fight itself, there's these risen warriors that spawn during the fight and they run around. The tank needs to kite the Sea-Cursed Soulkeeper around to those risen warriors so that the warrior's frontal cleave will kill those warriors. Does that make sense?
Yes. The big ad needs to kill the little ones.
The big ad. Yeah, exactly. Big ad needs to kill the little ads. You only need to kill 6 in total, and you don't have to do 6 at once. So if you, get 2 down and miss the rest, then you've got the next wave that you can get it all done. And then you have to kill the boss as well to get it done. So it's kind of like you want to track how many you've killed. Like just count how many you got before you kill him.
Yes.
So yeah, it's only tricky because that frontal cleave really hurts. And it can take a little bit of time. And it's really hard with that trash pull beforehand to not kill him. Because I don't think that he was easy to maneuver.
Yeah.
The next one is with the boss Harberon and is called Helheim Hath No Fury. Technically, it's not really him, it's the trash before it, but it's for this you need to rescue the captured Valkyr in More of Souls. Nobody knows where this captured Valkyr is or anything, but basically you need to get from getting out of that cage that you're stuck in when you first spawn on the ship. You need to get out of that cage and kill all the trash and get to Harberon within about 6 or 7 minutes, everyone is suggesting. And if you do that, you will have saved the Valkyr. The only way that this is one that we got by accident. We didn't know that we'd done this until the achievement popped up, and how did we manage to do that? And it really is just clear it. Yeah, it's just clear it quickly and you'll get it. But you will know that you've failed it because in your little chat box there'll be an emote saying something along the lines of the Valkyr's soul belongs to Helheim and stuff like that. So it's easy to know if you failed. It's hard to know how to track it and how you're doing with it. So it's the kind of thing where you all want to get out of the cages at once and leg it and do the best that you can. Okay, this one is quite possibly the trickiest dungeon achievement that I have ever seen. For this one, this is technically with Helya, but actually the whole of Blackrook Hold and the whole of Maw of Souls. The achievement is called Poor Unfortunate Souls, and, you know, yay for Little Mermaid references. For this one, you need to defeat Helya in Maw of Souls while all group members are poor unfortunate souls. And it's quite a process, so, you know, get comfy. You need a lot of planning, and there's a couple of little tricks and tips to get you through this, but it essentially requires a complete non-death run of Blackrook Hold and a non-dying run of Maw of Souls. You cannot die at any point in time in either of those two dungeons, or you will fail.
So wait till next expansion.
So the full details are on Wowhead, so if you want to look at this all in great detail and where everything is, have a look on there, but we'll give you the short rundown here. The initial suggestion is to have your Hearthstone set to Valdestal in Stormheim and have a Goblin Glider kit. And the reason being is that you actually need to run Blackrook Hold first, and there's a time limit to go then running through Maw of Souls. So if you have your Hearthstone set there, you can jump off the cliff and get to Maw of Souls. I'll come back to that in a second. So going into Blackrook Hold, and again, of course, this is on theoretically Mythic, but potentially you can do this on Heroic. In Blackrook Hold, there is a blue spirit candle to the right of the instance entrance, which will give you the...
I have noticed that.
I haven't. So all of this is... like, I was looking at this and I'm like, this is fascinating. I'm going to have to look. So you click on that, and it gives you a buff called Wandering Soul. Great. That buff has a 10-minute timer on it. You need to complete the entire... Sorry, that has... The first Wandering Soul buff, that one has 30 minutes. I think I forgot to write that down. That buff, but basically you need to have that buff, and you need to kill the last guy. You need to kill Ravencrest. With that buff still active, when Ravencrest dies, the buff will be updated to be called Lost Soul. You then need to go start running Maw of Souls, and so that's where it was like Hearth back to Valdestal, Goblin Glider over to Maw of Souls entrance, and in you go. Killing Miron will update your buff to a new one called Damned Soul. Killing Harboron will give you another new buff called Poor Unfortunate Soul, which is the one that you need, and you need to have that active when you kill Helya. You cannot die at any point in time in any of these two runs, or the buff will be lost and you have to start this process again from the start. Each of the buffs that you get, except for the first one, each of the buffs lasts for 10 minutes, which doesn't sound like a lot of time. In some cases, it just depends on how well your how good your DPS is. If you guys have zero difficulties with Mythic 0 dungeons and you can race through them pretty quickly, you'll be fine with the timers. If your DPS is a little bit low, either wait till you have some better gear and you can get through it a little bit faster, or just be prepared to, clench your butt cheeks a bit and hope for the best that you can get through the timers fast enough. The side notes that have come up in the comments on Wowhead, there is a suggestion that you can actually do the Blackrook Hold part of this achievement run on Heroic difficulty. And so the suggestion is that your whole raid group goes into Mythic Maw of Souls and clears all of the trash up to the first boss to help you save some time when you get back.
And then queue.
Run out of Maw of Souls. All 5 of you queue together for Blackrook Hold Heroic and follow the same process. So click on that candle, clear all of it without dying, and then when you finish that dungeon, when you teleport out, you'll be at the very front door of Maw of Souls. So you'll save yourself a lot of time not having to travel, and then you can run in and do all of Maw of Souls. So like I said, this is the most detailed one, and I'm fascinated. This is another one that I'm really fascinated about how people figure this stuff out. Because
I'm curious if it was just straight up data mined, or if someone was like, look, there's a thing here. Let's click on that. Let's clear the dungeon. I have a debuff now.
Yeah.
What do I do with this?
Then how would you know how to go to Maw of Souls? Like,
how would you know to go to Maw of Souls?
Yeah,
I don't.
That's exactly it. So, look, this is one that's very interesting. Also, the beauty with this one is that when you do get the Poor Unfortunate Souls achievement, you also get a little pet, which I forget his name, but he's a little eel and is, a reference to the eels that Ursula has.
Flotsam and Jetsam.
Yes, thank you. So, this is one that I really want to do just for, a Little Mermaid pet. I have to have a Little Mermaid pet. Little Mermaid pet is my favorite Disney movie.
Yes. So the the next two, I haven't actually done. I haven't actually done these dungeons yet, but I have the quests to unlock them. The Court of Stars, first of all, has 2 achievements. The first one is from Patrol Captain Greedo, and the achievement is called Waiting for Greedo, which you have to disable each of the watch posts after Patrol Captain Greedo signals them and then defeat him. So you have to disable each of them.
Disable them.
Do not disable the watch post as you approach him. During the fight, he will spawn ads from each of the 5 watch posts. You need to kill the ads, then disable the watch posts, then kill the boss. So this makes this boss fight just more annoying, basically.
Yeah, it just means that there's a lot more ads. What you're supposed to do is disable them so that you don't get as many ads in this fight. And obviously leaving them up means you will get lots more ads, and some of them can be a little bit tricky, but overall this one shouldn't be too terrible. It is worth noting you can't do this achievement and the next achievement in the same run because they will conflict with each other.
Okay, so the next achievement is in the dungeon itself, which is dropping some eaves. It is to witness the conversation between Advisor Elantris and Grand Magistrix Elisande. Now, apparently this is a bit buggy or RNG based. The info below is obviously from Wowhead, but it's specifically from Sneakarn, a comment the person has written up, and is based on info from Asmongold, the streamer. Now, you don't get noticed by any of the sentries during the encounter, so you have to stun and kill all of them, and don't let any of them light any of the beacons. Disable all the beacons in the lead up to Greedo, quickly kill him to find out who the spy is in the room before the last boss.
That's a separate part. Gerdo's different to the spy part.
Oh, okay. So
Sorry.
You disable all the beacons, and then you need to find out who the spy is. Obviously, a demon hunter will help. You kill the demon lord and use the keys to open the door. And then apparently...
it's buggy because the first boss is the Gerdo fellow, and so you do all your beacons and stuff and you kill all the ads, and that's all great. The trash pack, and I use the term very loosely, before the last boss isn't actually a trash pack. You've got to actually find who is a secret spy in a room that's full of NPCs who are all dressed differently, and you get given a series of clues as to who is this spy. The trick with this is, like, when you're doing this normally, you can run around and accuse anybody of being a spy, but doing so will kind of like kick you out of the group, kick you out of the room, and people will start noticing you. So you don't want to accuse too many people. But to get the achievement, you don't want anyone to notice you. Like, what the whole point of this seems to be is that you need to make sure that nobody knows that you're there at all. So that's why you need to get rid of, you need to make sure that you avoid every single sentry. Don't let any of them get anywhere near you. Don't let them say anything, do anything, which is why, like, your stuns and all of that, like your long distance thingies that can, hexes and all of that, that should be helpful. And then when you have found the spy, you go out onto the balcony and you kill him. He's just an ad, like he's a trash ad kind of thing. And he'll give you the keys to open the door to the conversation that happens. So it's a bit buggy in that, apparently people have followed this precisely and have gotten the achievement every time. And there are people who have done this precisely and have not gotten the achievement every time.
Yes.
And it's really weird.
A Blizzard GM has confirmed there is a bit of RNG to it.
Yeah.
The person doesn't say at what point the RNG occurs.
With the spy room, there is, as I was saying, there's one person who is the spy. The reason demon hunters are really helpful is that if they get up really high and use their spectral sight, they'll actually be able to, like, the person who is the spy glows a different color to everybody else, and so they'll be able to straight away, without having to do any of the other stuff, go, there's the spy, go accuse them. So it's kind of cool. So good luck with that one too.
Now, some people are saying that you need to actually RP walk after killing the demon. To not
Really?
look like you're charging
Okay.
through the groups and kind of be noticed.
Yeah. Like just be super subtle.
Yeah. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense. But
It's weird though, because like the tooltip just says you need to witness the conversation. It doesn't say anything about don't get noticed. Like it's the kind of thing where I think if you try these tips that Asmongold has said, do that, see how you go with it, and try adding in extra things.
There is a specific line of dialogue that will come up to know that you have succeeded, where it'll say, Suspicious Noble says, now, let's not be hasty. Why don't you follow me so we can talk about this in a more private setting? So that's kind of like, oh, that means that they are going to speak in private. And so that's you hearing a conversation, I guess.
Okay. It's a bit weird.
It was directly taken out of the chat log, so.
Yeah.
But either way. Now, the second last one we're going to talk about is the Archway. The first... with 3 achievements, I should say. The first is Costalix, which the achievement is Clean House. Defeat Costalix without any pools of Nightwell energy expiring. Now, you have to soak all of the Nightwell energy pools that spawn during the fight. They're the blue-purple gas clouds. The easiest way is to pop hero after the first lot of clouds have been soaked up to avoid getting any more. So this is kind of like, what was it? The achievement for the Sleeping Dragon in ICC. Portal Jockey. That's the one. Where you have to go through all the portals. / you have to soak all the pools.
Yeah, and it's easy to just not get any at all.
Yes. The less pools that spawn, the less you have to make sure you get. So.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. We got this one. Like we actually got. I've only done the Archway once and got all 3 achievements in that one run. So these are all pretty straightforward to get this through.
Excellent. So the next one is on Ivanir, and it's Arcanic Cling, which is to defeat Ivanir without taking any damage from Charged Bolt. This is a personal achievement. As long as you don't get hit by anything, get the achievement. You can interrupt him when he starts channeling the crystal, which will mean fewer bolts will go out as well.
Yeah, the interrupts are the easiest way to do it. So as long as you've got an interrupt rotation on him for that particular ability, you'll be able to, like, everyone will be able to get the achievement. It's a nice way of making sure that everyone gets it. Yep.
The next one is Advisor Vandross. It's No Time to Waste. Defeat Advisor Vandross without killing any timeless wraiths in the Archway. Now, timeless wraiths spawn in the maze. I don't know how that, but you've done this, so...
Yeah, so this one, he's kind of got 2 phases. So you start beating on him at the start, and then in the, like the second phase of it, he'll banish you into a different part of the whole zone, and you need to get back to him, except on the way of getting back to him are these all of these little ghosty things, and they hurt. Like, they can be pretty painful, and you need to get back to him really, really quickly. And what you need to do for the achievement is actually not kill any of the ads. Now, that's really hard to do because they hurt a lot. And so even if you did manage to run all the way through without killing any of the ads, they're going to kill you pretty darn quickly before you can get the boss down. So we actually did this a sneaky way. Well, when I say sneaky, I mean there's multiple ways of doing these achievements, and it was totally fine to do. There's a couple of suggestions. The way that we did it was to have somebody with a self-res, so somebody like a shaman with, oh my goodness, reincarnation, and a warlock who has already soul-singed themselves. Let them pull the boss and die pretty early on in the fight. Everybody else then just, tank picks up the boss, do the fight as usual, and then get sent away to do the next phase. When everyone's been sent away, the person who died at the start, they can then self-res and tag the boss, because as soon as you tag the boss, all of the ghosts go away and the maze goes away, and you just need to then run back to the boss. So it's a great way to avoid having to deal with the ghosts. The hardest part is just staying alive until the tank comes back. So make sure that you've got like some personal cooldowns going on to keep yourself alive until he comes back. And that's a really, really straightforward way of doing it. Other ways have people suggest having like rogues with their sneaking thing, although that can sometimes be a little bit too slow, or druids with their prowl or whatever, with like anything that has like invisibility things that let you run a long distance, like a far enough away to get to the boss, so that you can avoid the ghosts. That'll help you. Like the trick here is to figure out a way to hit the boss so that all the ghosts go away.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes. There's a way to get around it, but the proper way is the long way. So
yeah, and I mean, the way that we did it was, I mean, I got to be the one who died and rezzed and tanked the boss for a while, and I survived okay. And it was, it was fun. It worked a treat. You zerg him down as soon as you can, so that doesn't happen again.
Yeah. And on to the last dungeon, the Violet Hold. Only has 2 achievements. The first one is on Festiface, who is actually the prototype of both Festagut and Rotface from ICC.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
No wonder it's so gross.
Yep. The achievement is I Made Food, which is to defeat Festiface after slaying a black bile in the Violet Hold on Mythic. Now, obviously, to spawn the black bile, you have to let Festiface reach 100 energy. To do so, you need him to not soak the puddles. When he gets to 100 energy, he will summon the black bile, and at the same time, it also reduces all healing done by 100%. So the best way to do it, when it spawns, wait a few seconds, then use the defense mechanism to just wipe it.
I didn't know that you could do that. That's pretty cool.
Yes. The defense mechanism is kind of like you're getting overwhelmed.
Oh yeah, no, we use it. Yeah, we
clears all
use
the
it for
trash.
trash packs. Yeah, I didn't know you could use it in bosses as well. That's cool.
You can. It doesn't kill them, but it does a considerable amount of damage.
Yeah,
and
nice.
In the old Violet Hold, there were achievements for not using it all. So
Yeah,
and most people
okay.
didn't anyway. And the final one is on Maleficent Mana Storm. The achievement is You're Just Making It Worse, which is defeat Maleficent Mana Storm after she becomes very cross with you. Now, only one member of your party needs this. You need to use the Mana Storm duplicator during the fight, the toy, and she gets very, very cross.
She starts out pretty cross as it is.
Yes, but
and I don't blame her. Really don't blame her.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually done this dungeon on any difficulty.
I've only done it once, and I think it was, can't remember if it was heroic or not. But yeah, I've only been able to do it once, and we didn't do the achievement. So yeah.
Yes. Now, apparently, whoever has this toy activated, she hits you like a truck.
Oh, really?
And will one-shot you.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. So
do it right before she's about to die?
Yes, you need to do this when she gets very low.
Wow, okay.
So apparently, a group of people went in there thinking it would be funny to have this equipped the whole time, and she wiped the dungeons instantly.
That's awesome. Not so funny after all.
No, not particularly. Yeah, so that happens, but yeah, and that's all the achievements for the dungeons. Now, for the raids, we're only going to go through the first half, which are just Emerald Nightmare ones. When it comes to the Nighthold, we'll wait till the Nighthold is out, and then we'll talk about that. So we have the Glory of the Legion Raider, which gives a very, very pretty mount, which is a defiled moose. So it's the opposite of the Grove Warden.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
It's a great mount.
I have almost no experience in the Emerald Nightmare. You have a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm going to refer to you for a lot of these when it
Yep.
comes to
That's
specifics. The first one is Buggy Fight, which is to defeat Nathendra after squishing 15 glow bugs on normal or higher. Thank God these aren't mythic.
Oh, I know, right?
Now, obviously, during Phase 2, Heart of the Swarm, 4 to 5 glow bugs will spawn. You need to squish them, and to squish them, you need to actually interact with them. You don't just walk over them like the eggs in the previous in Dark Heart Thicket. Now, they're a reddish color, and they have the cogwheel when you interact with them. Tracking this achievement doesn't work, so you need to have her go through Phase 2 about 4 or 5 times, and you need to manually keep track of them because you need to squish 15 of them. Have you seen these?
No, and I'm going to have to look now. Probably on our normal, because we do a normal run each week as well so far. So I'm going to have a look. I would highly recommend, in all honesty, for pretty much all of these, just do them on normal difficulty because things hurt right now. So, and I do think that most of these are quite doable on normal. This one is definitely one that you'd want to do on normal because on heroic and above, it can get quite painful. But yeah, if they're on the outside of the room, and people are saying they look like ham. So just look for little hams that you can click on. And yeah, I'm going to keep an eye out though.
Yeah. So the next one is Webbing Crashers, which is to defeat Elereth Renferal after
Spider-Man.
destroying all of her pulsing egg sacs during the encounter.
I'm
There
sorry,
are
are you
6 in
snickering?
total.
Did you just
little bit.
snicker saying egg sack?
No, I was snickering at Spider-Bird. I just love
okay.
that. Battle Tag was hilarious when you were just calling it Spider-Bird.
Yeah, that's what everyone calls it though.
Yes. Now, there are 6 in total. 4 of them are actually off the edges of the main platform, and you need the wings to reach them. There is an excellent video posted by someone named Carl on YouTube, and we'll have the link in the show notes. It shows you where each of the eggs are and gives you some tips on how to get to each one. Now, the wings. When do they
Yes.
spawn and how many?
I can't quite remember how many there are. I have a feeling there is 4 or 5, but that might be dependent on the size of your group, and we have 30 going into the normal and heroic runs. So yeah, that one's going to be a little bit I'm not 100% sure on, so I can't tell you that. But they will spawn after the first platform. So she will... have you done it on LFR yet?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you know how so you start hitting her and then she's got like that big green circle and you got to run away from that and you go to the other side of the platform and then you hit her again for a while and then she does another huge big green circle and you run back to the other side of the platform and then she does like a pushback with winds. At the end of that pushback with winds, so she's in bird form at this point, once she's finished doing that, she'll start flying away, and that's where some of the little feathers get left behind on the platform. So with this one, I really do recommend it. So even though the guy's name is Carl, bless him, he's a darling. His videos have actually been really helpful, and there'll be quite a few of them that we're going to refer to in this. This one's really quite a good one because the eggs themselves are quite difficult to see. You need to put markers down where they are before you pull the boss, because once you pull the boss, the eggs actually disappear until that phase, so you don't really know where to go, if that makes sense. So you need to put markers down and allocate where people are going to go to, because the ones that are off the platforms, like there's the one that he did is absolutely in the middle of nowhere and you can't get back. You're left on that platform for the rest of the fight.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure that's the only opportunity that you're going to be able to try and get these eggs. So it's got pluses and negatives in that you only get one attempt, but if you fail, it's pretty early in the fight. You can wipe it and then start again.
Yes, and you do need to defeat her. So don't send your best DPS after it.
Yeah, that's it. Or like don't send all your healers off to do it or something, because you'll need them later on.
Yeah. So the next one is on Ursoc, which is the achievement is Scare Bear. You have to defeat Ursoc while keeping Rage Paw alive. Now, he's a special little ad that's over by 5672 on the map, on the sort of Grizzly Hills map. And and he'll come help you with the fight. You need to keep him alive. And the thing is, he doesn't appear in the frames, so healers need to kind of like focus, or I think it's slash focus, or to make sure that they can see him and watch his health and heal him. Obviously, Carl has a great video that we'll put a link to.
He does.
As
Bless
well.
Carl, he does a good job.
Yes.
This one, I haven't done this one, and to be honest with you, I haven't seen the NPC, but looking at the video, it's in an area of trash that everybody naturally avoids, so you'll be killing extra ads. And it looks like his health does go down a bit, so you really, like that tip of focusing it, you really need to do that.
Yep. The next one is Took the Red Eye Down, which is to defeat Il'gynoth after inflicting 20 nightmare explosions on the eye of Il'gynoth within 10 seconds. So, phase 1, kill everything except the Ichor, and kite them around the room in a very large circle until you have about 22 of them or more. The more the better. And then you need to drag them all on top of the eye and AoE them down as quickly as possible. They do an AoE burst when they're killed, so be careful that you don't wipe the raid.
Or just don't get yourself killed. Yeah, this one, when the hardest part that we found, and I don't know if it's just our group, and it could quite possibly be, but for some reason, for the love of all that is holy, people like to kill these things before they're under the eye, and it's like, you know what? Don't pad your meters. Stop hitting the things. They need to be under the eye so that you can progress on. You need to get the, because I think there are about 22 or 24. There's a couple of extras in the second lot that end up happening. And you need to make sure that, none of them die. Put them all under there and then use like capacitor totem and roots and everything to hold them all directly under the eye, because trying to get them all down within 10 seconds directly in that one spot is actually going to be a little bit fiddly. So use everything that you've got to do it.
Yep. So, that fairly straightforward, but it can be a little difficult.
Straightforward and fiddly, yeah.
Yes. Would you like to take the next ones?
Imagined Dragons World Tour. Defeat Ysondra in Emerald Nightmare, while all members of the raid have dream essences from all 4 gateway locations. This one's kind of cool, because I didn't know that you could go into this on anything other than Mythic, so it's really cool. And again, I forgot to put the link in, but Carl has a good video for this one too. So in the Dragons of Nightmare scenario, there's actually 4 portals around the room, and if you have a look at your map when you go into that space, you'll see them marked with like the little swirly icons. You might want to put raid markers down on the 4 corners so people know where to go. And the idea is that when you go through the portals, there's these little spirit-looking things in that realm, and if you run through them, you'll get a buff. And so you need to go through all 4 portals and run through spirits in all 4 of those portals and then kill the boss. Now, everybody needs to do this. And that's where the tricky part comes in, because you need to split things up and rotate who's going to go get their buffs and when. The way that some people have done it is that they would split the group into 2. And the first group, so we'll call them Group A, they will actually start the fight on their mounts. They're not to hit the bosses when the timer gets to 0. They need to immediately stay on their mounts, run through the first portal, pick up their buff, run out, run to the next portal, and run to all 4 portals to get their buffs, and then start hitting the boss. And then the second group, Group B, they won't be able to do it on their mounts, but they need to run out and do exactly the same thing. It's a great tactic. The only downside is that the dragons are supposed to be fought separately because they have this stacking buff. And when the stacks get too high, it gets really painful and really hard to deal with. In normal, you can... the range on that, like getting that buff is shorter, so all ranged and healers could be out of range, so there's fewer people to have to heal up quite heavily. So you could do it this way, or you could have 3 tanks and still do the fight normally where everything's split and you just kind of need to juggle who's going to go get their buffs. Honestly, the hardest part about this is just figuring out who's going to go get their buffs and when, if you don't do 50-50
And
split.
if need be, you could always have a druid who can off tank as a fourth.
Yeah, that's
so you
exactly
have
it. Yeah.
2 tank, while the other 2 tanks get their buffs, and then they come back
Yeah.
and they tank, and then the other 2
Yeah.
go with the other group. So it just depends on your composition, depends on how you can get it to work.
The thing with this as well that's really good is that if you happen to die when you're doing this scenario, the buffs don't fall off. So you can still get the achievement if everyone's got all of the buffs on them, but a couple of people die and then the boss still gets killed. You should still get your achievement because you still have the buffs on you. The buffs don't drop off until the boss is pulled again the next time. So, and I think that's to help, there's been achievements in the past where you've had to have stacks of something on you, and if you happen to die in the middle of the fight, you wouldn't get the achievement because they fell off when you died. This is a protector for that, I think, so that if you happen to die, you should still get it.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a cute little achievement, and going through the portals is fun. So I'm hoping that we get to do that. The next one is, it seems pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of comments on this, but I actually got it. So I'm going to tell you how I think I got it. The achievement is called Use the Forces, and it's to defeat scenarios without cleansing each of the following forces of nightmare. So you've got the Drakes, the Dryads, the Treants, and the Wisps. So the premise of this fight is that Cenarius is there, and he's all bad and corrupted and stuff, and there's corrupted Drakes, corrupted Dryads, corrupted Treants, and corrupted Wisps, and they'll all come out during different phases of the fight. And you can choose to cleanse one of those types each round, if that makes sense. To get the achievement, you just need to make sure that in a whole boss fight, you decide, okay, we're not going to cleanse any Drakes ever. And then the next time around, the next week, you can go, okay, we're not going to cleanse any Dryads ever in this particular fight. So I think it's like that. So, you could do it very casually, very easily over 4 weeks. Now, this hasn't been out for 4 weeks, and I got this. So I think that you can skip cleansing 2 types in one fight if you really want to try and push it.
Yeah. If you've got
we did it by accident.
Yeah, I mean,
it's more. This one's more about having just having the heals and being able to. Look at it, this fight's such a messy fight. It's not my favorite because I don't like messy fights. I like order, and those brambles are Satan. They are Satan's spawn.
Yes.
It's so evil. So I'm not a huge fan of it. But yeah, it's possible to. I think your best bet is to choose one and go, yeah, we're not cleansing this particular one this week. And if you happen to manage to get rid of 2 in the 1 week, then more power to you. You've done really well. Do you want to do the last one?
Okay, so the last one is I Attack the Darkness, which is a hilarious reference. I don't remember where it's actually from, though, off the top of my head. You have to defeat a creature in the dark during each phase of the encounter with Xavius. Now, there are 3 creatures in total, 1 for each of the phases, and they spawn at the very edge of the room in the darkness. The first phase is obviously down to 65% health, second phase is down to 30% health, and then the final phase is under 30% health. The best thing you can do is have a Demon Hunter to use their Spectral Sight, and then Glaive Toss the creature to pull it in, if you're running out to get disrupting everything.
Yeah, you don't want the tanks to have to run out and change positioning and things like that. And I don't think the impression that I got was that nobody else could see them other than Demon Hunters. Did you get that impression?
No, not particularly.
Okay, might just be me.
I mean, it may just be the easiest way.
They specifically say to use Spectral Sight, though, so it could maybe Hunter Flares or something might work as well, like anything that kind of reveals hidden things might work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't really know currently, but it seems like Demon Hunters have the best.
You know what else could work? Are they considered demons?
I believe so.
Okay, if they are. So if you've done the last Illidan storyline quest in your Order Hall, there is a reward that you get from that has an ability that does that.
Oh yes, it was a headpiece.
Yes. So maybe anyone could do it if they've got. Maybe that ability would work. I'd be curious about that actually.
Yes, and
But
as
that
a
could be
hunter,
worth
we
it.
can track demons on our mini maps
yep.
as well.
Yep.
So if we can flare it, then yes, we'd be able to track it. Like we may not see it,
But at least you know
um,
where it is.
Yes, and I Attack the Darkness is actually a reference from a Dungeons and Dragons skit called The Dead Alewives, where one of the players chose to roll to attack the darkness for some reason, and yeah, it's a really fun skit. It's worth watching.
Okay, we should find that if that exists somewhere. I don't know that, but cool. That's it for the Emerald Nightmare achievements.
Yes,
And
the
Nighthold.
Nighthold. We'll come back to the Nighthold when it's available.
Yeah, when we can actually talk about it. These ones, like these achievements for the Emerald Nightmare so far, I think the most difficult one is probably webbing crashes on Spider-Bird, just to get the aiming right on landing on the platforms in the with the wings and stuff, because some of them can be a little bit tricky. Everything else is relatively straightforward and doable.
Yeah. And all the achievements are so full of puns that
Oh,
the good
puns
laugh.
are killing me.
Yep. So, we have some feedback this week from our listeners, and the no voicemails, but we do have some tweets. The first tweet that we got from Anne the Gamer says, "No new mounts for me, but I got a second Coalfist Grunling from my garrison and gave it to a guildie to make them very happy."
Aww.
That's really nice. I think I did the
nice.
same thing when another one popped up. I was like, I guess I can just do a guildmate.
I would like to have done that. I actually didn't get my own one of those until quite late on in the expansion, and by that point most people had one. So
yes. Yeah, fair enough.
Lovely Anne.
Yes. Do you want to take the next two?
The next one is from Spoopy Sirius, our delightful Sirius. She says, "Nothing new for me at all. Adulting stealing all my fun away." I completely agree with you, Sirius. I completely do. And Asylum, in his cheeky self, says, "Yeah, make sure Cinder has her keys." And that is totally in relation to the fact that today, once again, I had forgotten my keys to get into my apartment, and I'm very grateful that Thor was here to let me in. And it was only when I got inside and I'm frantically looking around the apartment going, where are my actual keys, that I realized, wait, I'd put them in a different pocket in my backpack. So Cinder is stupid. I'm very stupid.
Yes.
But I have my keys now, and that's what matters. So.
Yes. Now, no emails, but we do have an iTunes review.
Yay!
I didn't actually. Let me see if I can find specifically how many stars it was, because my little thing didn't tell me originally.
Well, while you're looking at that, we've been given the link. Thank you. Clearly, this is the part where I'm about to face plant into the keyboard. Thank you to Fleecy for giving us the link to that Dungeons and Dragons skit. And thank you to everybody who's come along and joined us in the Twitch chat today. You guys are very chatty today. That's really awesome.
Yes. And I can't seem to find how many stars.
I'm assuming it's more than one.
Review nonetheless. It said, "Love the show. Very informative for those of us who love mounts. Looking forward to the next show." That was from T Crunk 360.
Thank you, T Crunk.
The more reviews we get, the more people that iTunes will tell about us, and the more listeners we will have. So,
and everyone happier will be.
Yes. And next week we will have kind of a themed episode. Next week is Hallow's End. We'll be covering Hallow's End for What a Long Strange Trip. And that should be good.
Splendid.
Yes. So, if you guys want to get in touch with us, you can come along to our live recordings Tuesday nights on at twitch.tv/Reins of Azeroth. It's 8:30 p.m. Australian. It's standard daylight time now.
AEDT, Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time.
Okay, that's the one. Now, obviously, the show can be found at reinsofAzeroth.com, as well as Podbean, iTunes, and Stitcher. The videos of the live show do go directly up to our YouTube channel. Just search for Reins of Azeroth with no spaces, and you'll find us. You can leave us a review on iTunes, like we received one tonight, a thumbs up on Stitcher, if that's where you listen to us. And if you have any questions, stories, pictures of your mounts, toys, achievements, or you just want to get in touch with us in general, our email is reinsofAzeroth@gmail.com. You can contact us on Twitter as well. We are at Reins of Azeroth. Tweet us there if you want a link to our Discord channel, where we talk mounts and stuff like that. And then also on Twitter, I am at SpazWesson, and Cinder is at Cinder_tweets. And that's about it for this episode then.
Yay! Thank you for listening, everybody, and for stopping by on Twitch.
Yes, and we'll see you next week for our spooky episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Done.
Yay!
Okay. Yes, I reposted that link. Twitch. Fair enough. You are free. Serious. Okay. Are we all done with Twitch and everything then?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Thank you again to everybody for stopping by, and we'll catch you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Love you.